Ma, I don't really know where it is. I'll find it later.
You don't know where it is, Ke?
I just started to on my laptop.
All right, no problem. You can stop sharing. Okay, so EX. EX, how are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Miss Sohan.
Good morning. Good morning. So were you able to put a navigation link in yours?
Yes.
All right, let me see it.
Okay.
So by Thursday, today is Tuesday, we'll work on your grid today, grid image gallery. Aha, this is what I'm saying. Now this Ehun, this is what I was talking about. You can see that. You can see that. You don't what? What did you say? What did you say?
Miss Sohan.
Yes. EX, I can hear you.
I don't understand what to do in the sustainability.
Don't
I don't
worry.
understand what.
Yeah.
I don't understand what.
It's a page that we're going to build together. Two of us are going to build it together because you are the one who is up to 13 years here. So you have to do it. Don't worry, I'll explain to you. That will be on Thursday. That's what we're going to focus on Thursday. But today and tomorrow, I was saying it before you came to class that I have found what's it called? I have found a way to explain the grid so that you guys will understand. So today, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about grids, forms, and image gallery. Okay, so today and tomorrow. By Thursday, we'll be talking about sustainability. All right, so this is what I was telling Ehun. You are following a color pattern that I like. I can see the colors. You're following something that I like. So I think it's this color I have an issue with. But you can scroll down, let me see. Oh, yours is even coming out very well. So that leads to where the skirts are, right? Okay. Okay. Let me see. So when you click that, okay, that's what I want to say. Nice. EX, you're doing a really good job, I must say. EX, Ehun is doing a good job too, but he doesn't seem like he's following it. All right, thank you. So let me quickly explain grid, and then we will do our profile pages today. So let's know that we have done our about page, and as we're focusing on our other index page. So I finally found a way to explain it that you guys will understand. I spent the whole day yesterday. Okay. So I want to say that before you start your website, it's actually better if you can draw out a plan that looks like this. Now this, sorry, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So please let me on this slide so that if the light goes out.
Yes.
So I'm saying that ideally, you might want to do something like this to get an idea of how you want your website to look. Now, this is a website that has a header on top. You can see the menu is at the side, or the navigation is at the side. Now, this is the content. This is what they want to write. This is another content by this side. And now this is the footer. You can do this, especially if you don't have a reference website that you are looking at. For those who don't have reference websites, you can just say, okay, you want to just maybe it's about live score, football, whatever. You can decide to do this, or you can also do a header like that, do your menu after the header, whatever works for you. There are different, let me see website layouts. If you see different, if you search website layout examples, if you go to Google, let me see if we can find any. This thing to go down. This is long. Okay, this is one, but this is a bit complicated too. But they are all layouts that, but this is, I don't like how this is looking. Oh, let me see images. Just in case you are looking for a layout for your website. So if you search on Google very well, find one or two. You can decide that you want your, okay, this is another layout site here. This is another layout. You can have your, this is the header, this is the menu here, this is another content here. It's almost like this header, menu, it's almost like this. The header is up, they just put the menu and the header together, they put the navigation bar and the header together, then they have a main and they have another right, which is what they did here. Header and menu together. This is a form. So tomorrow we're going to discuss how to put this search form. Then they have a main, they have a right. So it's up to you. You can come on. This is almost looking like a newspaper. This is columns. This is mostly made up of columns. So this is another one. You have the, you have the header. This is the header. This is the, what's it called? The navigation bar. This is content here. So you can check and figure out how you want to website in case you don't know. So if you've done that, after you've done that, it's easy to use Grid to actually build all these things. I'll show you how to use Grid to build all these things, right? So let me start from here. So remember how let me carry this here. So this is how you make a grid here. You must always have a grid container or something on top called a container. This can be anything, but it is a div that will wrap everything. Everything here is inside this div, is inside this class grid container div. You can see this is the opening of the div, this is the closing of the div, meaning that everything here, you see that they all have open, close div, open, close div, but they are all wrapped up inside this div. Do we understand that? Do we understand that?
Yes.
So they are all wrapped up inside that div. So it's essential that you have something like that. And if you're going to display your grid, because you want to move around and put different things, always make sure that when you select your selected the grid container, this is grid class grid container, and we displayed it grid. I told you there are two types of display. There is grid, and I think there is inline. I think inline is the one. If you display it inline, it's going to look like this on top of each other. But you don't want a website on top of each other. What you want is a grid. So you mostly be using the display grid, right? So this is it. So now, one thing that's, okay, let's continue. Let's go on like that. So we're going to turn this particular one, this particular like this, we're going to turn it into this. So how do we do that? So we already have our, let me see. Okay. So this one is already done, but this isn't done. So I'm going to be I'm going to be copying from here and be putting it, creating it. So I'm going to be switching. Now there is something called grid template column. Now this grid template columns tells the browser how many columns you want. Do you understand? How many columns you want? Now you are doing auto here. Auto simply means that this is 3 auto. So what that simply means is that you're telling the browser that, oh, I want to have 3 columns that are the same size, because you didn't give them any size. So that means the browser will just make sure that all of them are the same size. 1, 2, 3. That is why they're the same size. If you put 4 auto here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's automatically telling the browser that you want 4 columns. If I run this, see, the browser will give me 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we only have 9 items inside the container like this, 9 items, it's going to leave the space for the others that are not there. It will create the row, but there won't be anything here. See, this is row 1, row 2, row 3. This is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. It's going to create that row, but it's not going to put the columns there. To make sure it gives you 4 columns that your content can contain. Sorry, hold on. So that's all, and that's not the only way to write the grid template columns. Let me show you another way of writing the grid template columns. I think I wrote it down somewhere. There. Okay, I think it was here. So this is another way that you can write it. You can decide that, okay, what you should know is this. From here, from this number 1 to this number 4, number 1 to number 4 is always 100%. So now maybe you want to have 4 equal sizes, 4 columns of equal sizes. If you divide 4 by 100, that's going to give you 25. You understand? So you cannot tell the browser that, oh, I want 25, 25, 25. You can see here is 33. But instead, you can change yours to 25. Let's do 25. 25. How is it written? 25%. All right. Sorry. You can say you want it to be. Are you guys listening? 25%. 25%. 25. Sorry. 25%. 25%. So if I do this, it's still the same. Nothing changes because this is 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus, and that will give you 100. Maybe you want it to be 3 and you want to use 33. You can say 33. 33. If you want to make it a 3 column, 100 divided by 3 is 33.3. 33.3. 33.3. And then 33.3. Right? So if I do this, oh, sorry, there isn't supposed to be a comma. It's 33.3. So if I do this, you see now, it is giving me 3. Do we understand that? Do we understand that?
Yes.
So you can also
Disconnected for a long time.
What did you say? Okay, so we can also change the sizes according to maybe you want 3, but you don't want them to be equal sizes. For instance, maybe you want the middle. I'm going to mute everybody. If you have any question, please. If you have any question, put in the chat. Yes.
I don't understand. I got disconnected.
All right, no problem. Just listening. You just listen. I'm still understanding. I'm still explaining. I've not gone far, so you should understand. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat because I have to meet you guys for noise. So maybe you want 3 columns, but you want the middle one to be bigger, or you want the last one to be bigger. Do you understand? Like I said, it's always 100%. So maybe you want 2 columns to be the same, and then you want 1 column to be bigger. So you can say 25, 25, 50. 50 is going, 25 plus 25 is 50. So 2 of them are going, the 225 is going to be smaller, the 50 is going to be bigger. You can do it like this: 25%, 25%, then 50%. And when you run it, you see the 50% is bigger. All right. the 50% is, I'm trying to, okay, hopefully you guys can see. Or you can decide that you want the middle one to be bigger, 25% here. And then you can do 50% here. All right. So if I run this, now the middle one is bigger. You can make the first one bigger. You can also make it 4. Just make sure that whatever number of column you are doing, it is going to be equal to 100. All right. You can decide you want to do 10 column. 10 divided by 100 is, I think that's 10. That's 10 columns. So you can do 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, or you can do 10%, 10%, 10%, 50%, whatever works for you. Or you use the auto method. There is also another method of doing the grid template rows, right? You can also decide to do it like this. You can use something we call fraction. All right, fraction. So you can say you want each of them to, where's that place? Sorry. Okay, 1 fraction. Let me copy this. Copy. So you can use fraction. FR stands for fraction. No, now if you write it like this, you are telling the browser that, okay, I want 3, because this is 3. I want 3. I want guys, can you hear me now? I got disconnected, right? Hold on. I got disconnected, right? I don't think you guys can hear me. Who is the host now? Elmo, you are the host. Please, can you make me the host now?
Okay.
Thank you. So make me the host so that I can allow everybody to unlock. I'm waiting now. Okay. So quickly, do you guys understand? Please, you can unmute now. You understand what I'm explaining?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mama.
Okay, so just listen, Ire, you would understand. Okay, just listen. So I'll still talking about the grid. Remember that this is the grid template columns. You're talking about the columns. This is a grid. We're working with a grid. Sorry. We're working, this is a grid. So now we're talking about the columns, and that is why it is grid template columns. Now, I talked about I have talked about the percentage. I've talked about using auto. Now we're using fraction. So 1 fraction means is a space or a size. Do you understand? It's a size that the browser can decide to interpret anyhow. So all you're telling the browser now is that, okay, I want 3 columns here because these are 3 fractions. And I want the first one to be 1 fraction. I want the first one to be 1 fraction. I want the second one to be 2 fraction. And I want the third one to be 1 fraction. So what you're telling the browser is that I want the first and the last one to be the same size. I want this middle one to be double of the sides. Okay, so if I run this, it's almost like this. Let me do something different. Let me say, okay, I want this to be 1 fraction here. I want this to be 1 fraction here. Then I want this to be 2 fraction here. All right. So you're telling the browser that you want this side to be 1 fraction. You want this side to be also 1 fraction. That means this side and this side will be the same. But you want this last one to be double of this size. So this last size will be double of 1 because it's 2. So it will be double. So if you run it, this is 1 fraction, this is 1 fraction, now this is double fraction, so it's bigger. Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay. So that's about fraction. Now, the shorthand of writing it,
Yes.
for instance, the shorthand for writing it, for instance, because we use something we call repeats. Okay, let me go and look for it so I'm very sure this is it. All right. So now we use something called the repeat option. We're still talking about grid template columns, the repeat option. So now this repeat means that you're telling the browser that, okay, you want it to repeat 3 times. So that means you want 3 columns and you want each of them to have 1 fraction. Do you get? So you're saying, oh, I want everything to be 1 fraction 3 times. That's what you're telling the browser. If you say repeat 4, and you say you want everything to be 4 fractions, this is how it will. This is especially if you want to make all of them the same, what's it called? You want to make all of them the same size, right? Sorry, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so that's assuming you want to make all of them the same size. So this is the shorthand of writing it. And of course, you can always use auto. But instead of using auto, this is how most people, you can write it anyhow that you deem fit. So I'm going to leave it at 3 here. So we understand that. So another property we're going to talk about is this, the grid template rules. Now we've talked about the column. Let me copy it and go and paste it. So now we have talked about the grid template column, right? Let's talk about the grid template rows. The grid template rows tells the browser how many rows do you want to have. I told you from here 1 to 4 is a column, 1 to 9 is a row. 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a column. 1, am I getting, oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, like this is a row. When it's going down, going down like this is a column. So we said we want, okay, this is 3. We said we want 3. Oh, sorry. Let me remove this first, because that's affecting it. So we said we want 3 columns. So it's giving us 1, 2, 3, like this. This is a column. But going like this, side to side is a row. So this is 1 row, this is 2 row, and this is 3 row. Like this is a column. So we've already figured out how many rows we want, 1, 2, 3. Now, how many columns do we want? So when we use the grid template rows, just like the column, sorry, let me, okay, I think I can put it here. All right, can you guys see hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
so just like the column,
Yes.
not only this tells you, this, you're telling the browser this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're telling the browser that you want 4 rows and you want the sizes of the rows to be 150. Let me make this 100. 150 is too big. Let me make this 100. 100. Sorry. 100. 100. Let me make it 3 rows so that it won't be too big. So now you're telling the browser that you want it to be 100, 100, 100, and you want the size to be 100 pixels. So if I run this, you can see it is bigger. The row is now bigger because why? Is 100. You have put it here that you want 100. You understand? So if you want it to be 4 rows, you can make it like this. Now it will become 4 rows. So let me run this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now because we only have 9 items here, you can see the space for the 4th row. But since there is nothing to put there, it's not going to put the content because there is nothing. This is stopping at 9. If I write, let me add to it now. If I add to it, copy, and then I add to it like this. Now it will give me the 4th row. All right, but I don't want the 4th row. And the chances of you using rows are slim. There's a probability that you will not use rows for the most part. And as I'm explaining, you understand, but just know that there is something called the grid template rows, all right? So this is also another way of doing it. Let me write it like this. Let me copy this. So for the most part, what you'll be using the most will be grid auto rows. I just want to tell you that there is something called grid template rows. Now let me make this will not reflect in the browser. I want to do it so that it doesn't reflect in the browser. Okay, so okay, so now this grid template rows will not reflect. So now this is grid auto rows, right? Now imagine you had the content inside there. Let me go and look for a content to copy. Let me go and look for a content to copy. Where can I find the content to copy? Okay, let me copy this content here. So if you copy a content now and I put it in, let me put it in row 1. Let me put it here where 1 is. So I'll delete 1 and write that content that is there. Now if I run it, now this is a lot, right? Why are you putting water? Now this is a lot, right? Okay, I already have green. Let me remove this. Sorry, give me a moment. So now if I run it like this, right? So you can see how it is going. Let me see. So you can see how it is going. For the most part, sometimes when you write, let me see if I put that thing again, maybe it will come out like that. So hold on. Let me make the content longer. Okay. Okay, now, so this is a very long content. And maybe because is in, what's it called? Maybe because is in W3 school. If I try this in my browser, it might not, if I try this in VS Code, it might not work. It might be cut short. Do you understand? It's writing here. Let me see if I can do it in VS Code. Okay, this is EX here. So let me delete it. So I'm just going to copy everything. So let me try and do it on VS Code. Because on VS Code, it might not show everything. Okay. Copy. This is EX. What is it now? What's his name, Seth? All right. So now this is it on VS Code, right? Okay, it's still showing. Maybe because of the browser I'm using, but there are certain browsers that if you write it like this on certain browsers, if you write it like this on certain browsers, it will cut it short. It will cut the content short. It won't go long like this. It will just remain its normal size, and it will probably cut it around here because that was its normal size. So now we're back to one. So some browsers will cut it short. You might just write it and you just see that it's not even increasing. So the best way to do that, and I think W3 School, I don't know why, it's the best way to do that. What we use, oh, sorry. I just made a mistake right now. Okay, it's from here. Okay. So basically, what this does is that it tells, sorry, this is it. So Grid Auto Row tells the browser that, okay, I want to have an auto row of, this is min max. Min max means that this is 150. So auto means that you want it to take whatever size that it likes. Auto automatically take whatever size of the content is. But if you feel whatever size of the content is, that is, it automatically takes it. It becomes long like that. But that at a minimum, you want the size to be 150 px. We did not put the number of rows here because, like I said, we are more concerned about the columns. We are more concerned about, this is 9 item here. If I want this 9 item to display as 4 columns, if I write 4 here, it's going to display as 4, regardless of the fact that it's going to display as 4. Let me make this 100. So it's smaller. So it's going to display as 4 columns. So no matter the number of rows I put, what actually determines it is the number of columns. If I say I want this to be 8 columns, even if I say, okay, even if I put, I want it to be 20 rows, 20 rows are not going to come out because all I have is 9 items and this is 8 columns. So it's just better to ignore the number of columns and just tell the browser that, you know what, just give it any size that you give it a 100% px. Forget about the number. Just okay, I want it to have a maximum size of 100% px. That is the rows. You can say you want it to be 150 to show you the difference. If I say 150 is bigger, so you can say you want it to be 150 or 100, but that when you write something in there, it should automatically take the size of the content that you write. So even if you write a 2-page content, it should just take the size and it should not cut it short, because most time the browser, I mean, it did not work like that here, but most times the browser will cut it short. The browser would not extend. So you're not telling it here that, okay, you want the minimum value to be 100% here, but the maximum value should take whatever, it should automatically take the size of the content. That's what min max means. Min max means minimum and maximum. So you are telling it here that, okay, I want a minimum value of 100, like the row should be a minimum of 100 pixels. That's why it's 100. But that when I write something that is big, when I write something really, really heavy, it should automatically take the size of the content. Do we understand that? Because if I do it like this, let's say I made this 3. I don't know if it will still work on this browser, but let me do it like this. Let me remove this. Copy. So this will not reflect on the browser anymore. So this is what to reflect on the browser. So let's say I said I want 3. Let me make this one 3 rows too. And then I said, okay, run it like this. Maybe this is when it will work. Let me see. I'll copy all of this. Because it's not supposed to work. I'm actually surprised that it is working. Let me paste it where one is. Okay, this is what I'm saying. So if you use grid template row that just says, okay, I want 3 rows and I want the size to be like that, you see how it comes out. It's not going to show where, it's going to cut it off if you use just the grid template row. So most time we don't bother with it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, aside from erase, everybody, is any other person understanding?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is how it would be if you use grid template rows. But when you use grid auto, you're saying, oh, I want the minimum size to be 100 pixels. So that means by default, it's going to be 100 px by size by default, because that's the minimum value you are giving it. But you want it to automatically take the size of the content when you now write it. So that's the meaning of max. So now that I have put it in grid auto row min max, if I do it like this, it automatically takes the size of the content. Do we understand? So that's why most times we don't use grid auto rows. We just use grid auto rows. We don't use grid template rows. So we understand that, right? Please tell me if you understand that.
Yes.
Okay, so I can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys could not even tell me that I'm mute. I thought I was talking. Anyways.
I'm talking.
No, I was mute. I was actually talking, but you guys are not hearing. So in this still container, this container that covers, please let me remove this thing. I don't need it. Yeah. So in this same grid container that covers the grid items, we have a background color, which is this background color here. Let me make this background color gray. So you can give it a background color if you want. So I'm just going to make that gray. And now you see it's gray. All right. So it has a padding of 10 px. You can make this padding 20 if you want to. The padding is the space around this one. You can make it, you see? Oh, sorry. The padding is the space between your borders here. This particular space here, this gray. So how big do you want it? You can make it 20, you can make it 40, but it doesn't make sense to make it 40, except you are doing a special thing on your website, you can make it 40, but I think 10 is okay. 10 is okay, yes, because this is the grid container here. So let's make the padding 10, the grid container. So now let's go to the individual grid items. Now these are the grid items. You can see the classes here, they are grid items. So if I want to change, let's assume I want to style that. Let me make the background color this color. Let me choose a background color. Okay. Copy. Make this the background color. So now this is the background color for inside. You see, for outside, we did it on the grid container. But for the inside, we do it for the grid item for this class, because this is what is inside. You can see it here on the code that this is what is inside. So that's why the inside won't change. If you want to change the background container for the background color for the outside, you do it for the container. Okay. And so they kept a border. This is the border. If you remove this border, it will look like this. So border is optional. You can decide to put a border, you can decide to leave it, but this is a border. So let me remove the border. This is what it looks like. So it just removes that line that you were seeing earlier. Removes the line that you were seeing earlier. But let's put the border because it's easier for me to see it like this, so that we can see it. Oh, sorry. Okay, I've made a mistake. So let me go and carry it. Grid item. Okay, I also do this. Okay, so I made the color here. I also told you the border is there. So this is padding. And of course, now this is now working on the space, because this is the grid item. This padding will work on the space inside. Let's make this 30. Hold on. Let's make this padding 40. So if I make the padding 40, I would explain. Okay, let me remove this so that you don't get confused. So now this is a padding of 40. Let me go back to a padding of 20. You see, it is smaller. If I make it 50. So that's how padding works. If I make it 50, it's bigger. Padding affects the space that is inside it, the space that is surrounding it. But I want to make, just like the padding here affects the space that is surrounding, that is inside here. So I'm going to make this 20 back because I don't need that much padding. So that's 20. So the font size, which is the size of this, of the content inside, 1, 2, 3, that is what is 30. You can make the font size 100. It will be bigger. See, bigger, but we just need, I think it was 30 that was there. So we just need to be 30. Then text align so that it can be in the center like this. You can decide to make it left or right, but text align. Now, just like I taught you tables, assuming you want to change, we know odd and even numbers, right? Let's assume I want to change all the even numbers to, a different background color. So you pick on the grid item. You know, when I was teaching you tables, I said you take the element of the TR elements, but here we're going to take the grid item elements, and then we'll put a semicolon and choose the nth child. This nth child means that this nth child bracket even means that you are choosing all the even numbers. Nth child even, you are choosing all the even number and giving them a background color of, this is the background color. Let's see the color. of gray. So you see all the two, these are all even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. They all become this background color because you have told the browser that for your grid items, which is what you selected here, you want the nth child even, that is the even number. Nth child even means even numbers. You want all their background colors to be this color. Do we understand? Do we understand? No response.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I got disconnected again.
Okay, so just pay attention, just listen. I'm
not lying.
I know you're not lying, so that's why I said listen. I'm still explaining. It's still the same thing we are doing. You can say I've not changed. It's still here.
Yes, you have.
All right. So now, how do we turn? You see this thing like this. How do we now make it like this? All right. So we're going to do that now.
Go.
So now, okay, this is what we're working on now. Yeah. So now, because we are giving, this is, what is it called? Now, this is a general class items. They all have this grid item, all of them have it. But I want to style the individual grids. I want to style this grid number 1, grid number 2. I want to style them differently. So I'm going to have to give them another class. So if you want to add a class to an already existing class, all you need to do is just give it space and then write the new class. So this is 1. I want to add a new class to this, so write another class 2. It's just you can see the apostrophe is still at the end of both of them. Not that you go and put you open another apostrophe here. No.
Okay.
All right, Ire, please stop talking, stop disturbing the class.
But I can't unmute.
You're muting already now. Don't worry.
I can't.
All right, so if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. So like I said, you still have to leave the apostrophe on the 2 classes. You don't need 2 apostrophe, 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end. You just leave a space. So right here, you leave a space 3. Right? You come here, you leave a space 4. Right? You come here, you leave a space 5. Come here, leave a space 6. Right? Come here, leave a space 7. Come here, leave a space 8. And you come here, you leave a space 9. All right? So if you run it, nothing will change because you didn't do anything. You just added classes. Now, sorry, hold on. Okay, so one thing you should know, I want to show you something. Okay. Can you see? I need to find a grid that has, let me check it here. Okay, let me use this place. So you can see this grid here, this line here, right? You guys can see this line. Let me unmute you guys because I need to hear you. So you guys can unmute. You see this line here, right? Can you guys see it? Let me make this.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me make this red. Okay. So you guys can see all this red line, right? This 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can see this red line, right? Now these lines are called column lines. They are called the column lines. It's starting from here. This first one is red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you have 3 columns, you are going to have 4 columns line. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I make this, let me add another auto. This is 4. If you make this 4, you're going to have, since you have 4 columns, you're going to have 5 auto lines, 5 column lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of columns that you have will determine how many column lines. If you have 4, that means you have 5 column lines. If you have 3, it's just like the number of columns you have plus 1 is equal to the column lines. So if you have 3 columns, 3 plus 1, that means you have 4 column lines. The same thing for rows too. This is how many rows. Let me make this equal. Let me make this equal. All right. Now we have how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many row lines are we going to have? This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. And the one under is 6. We're going to have 6. Let me make this 8. Okay. Okay. So this is 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many row lines are you going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the same thing with your columns. If you have 5 rows, you're going to have 6 row lines. If you have 4 row lines like this, you're going to have, if you have 4 rows like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of rows will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we understand that? It's important that you understand that, because what we are going to do in the next, what we're going to do here and now is going to be using those lines. So do we understand that?
Yes.
We understand that, right? We understand that, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go. So how do we make it like this? Easy. We're going to use the grid column start and the grid column end. So like I said, right here, we've already added another class to it. So we're going to style all those classes individually. Now, if you take 1, all right. Oh, I didn't teach you about grid gap. Okay. So now if you want to create a gap between, let me check here. Because, oh, they even did it here. I already explained column lines, grid rows. Yeah, column gap. Column gap, row gap. Okay. So we have something called column gap and row gap. Let me go back there. Sorry, this is not where I was. Okay, here. So we have something called column gap and row gap. So that's in the grid container. Okay. So if you want, maybe you want to create a gap here. You can see there's a border here, right? Let's assume you want to put a gap. You can say column, how is that spelled again? Okay, this is it, column gap. So you type it in there, column gap. And that will give you a gap between each column. All right. So now you see there is a 50 px gap here. You can see that. Can we see that, class? Do you guys see that? Are you allowed to mute? You can mute yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so this column, you can also have.
Ma, you are breaking.
Oh, am I still breaking now? Am I breaking? Please respond now so I know.
No, you are breaking before.
No, you're not breaking.
Okay, I'm not breaking anymore, right? All right, thank you. But you are understanding. And do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma.
EX, do you understand?
Yes.
Are you EX? EX, do you understand? EX.
Yes.
Chizaram, do you understand? Inyoluwa, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Bukumi, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Orelua, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So there's also something called row gap. Now this gives spaces between the rows, 50px. So now this will give a space under here. Oh, sorry. See? So this is column gap, this is row gap. Column gap, row gap. You know, row is like this, column is like this. All right. So, but this one, you can write it, there's a short form of writing it, especially if you want the two of them to have the same, especially if you want the two of them to have the same space. Maybe you just want them to have a gap of 10. You want to have 10px here, and you want to have 10px here. You can just write it like this. You can just say 10px. I hope I'm right about that. Let me check. Yeah, you just write it as gap. So you just write a gap of 10px. If you write a gap of 10px and you run it, you see they both have 10, 10 there. 10, 10. They both have 10, 10. Should I keep this border for this thing I want to do right now? Let me see if I remove the border, will you guys still understand it? Okay, so this is it without a border. I think it looks fine with a border, but you can also do it without a border. If you are putting content and everything, the chances are you will not use a border. But just so that it can stand out, we're going to use a border. But when you are putting content, border is not needed. So maybe you want the two of them to have different, maybe you want the, let me put it like this, 20px. This is just the short form of writing gap. All right, and so I run it. So now this is giving me a row gap of 10. The row is first, and then the column is second, and then a column gap of 20. So this is the shorthand of writing it. You put the row on first, and you put the column on second. But in this case, we want all of them to have the same 10px. So we're just going to leave it at 1. All right, or you can do the long version, column gap, row gap, all of that. You can do that. So I'm just going to leave it here. So now, after giving it other classes, we now want to make it, we want to turn it to this, right? And I've taught you about grid lines and column lines. So the first thing we're going to do, this is, let me write this, number 1. Copy. So you take this number 1, which is what I want to do here. You select the class 1, because this right here is 1. We cannot use grid item, because if you use grid item is going to affect everything, because they all have a class of grid item. So grid item, we use it to generalize, you know, a style that we want everything to have. Now we wanted it to have this background color, we wanted it to have the border, wanted everything to have border, wanted everything to have padding, wanted to make all the font size. So we chose grid item, but now we are only choosing the number 1 element, because we want to only design this one. Now, let me see. Okay. So this is grid column starts, right? Grid column starts, and we have the number 1 here. So it's talking about the numbers. Let me see if I can bring this forward. Where is it? Okay. So like I said, this is a grid, right? This is the grid. These are column numbers. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is a 12 column grid, right? Now we're saying that we want this one to start from 1. This is 1. All right. This is 1. And then we want the grid column to end at 3. So this would be 1, 2. Let me use here just to be sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can put that line in here. Okay, let me see if I can put it here. No, it's not here. I want to try to see if I can create that line here because that will help me explain it. I don't know if I explain it like that, whether you guys will get it. Okay, let me try. So we're saying that we want it to start at 1. Let me see. So we're saying that we want it to start at 1 here and end at 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is the column N3. So that means 1 will extend to this place. And then this 2 will shift to where this 3 is. And this 3 automatically goes to another row because we have already told the browser what's going on. We have already told the browser that we want 3 columns here. So if I move 1 and say it should end at 3, I hope I'm making sense. Let me do that again. This is 1 grid line. This is 2 grid line. This is 3 grid line, right? This place has, you know what, let me remove that space. Because that space might confuse us. Oh, sorry. So we're saying that this is 1, 2, 3. Now we want this grid column, this number 1. We want the grid column to start at 1 here, which is starting here, and then we want it to end at 3. This is 1, 2, 3. So it's going to end. So that means 1 is going to move here, and this 2 is going to move to the side, and 3 is going to come down because we only want a 3 column. It's not going to give us an extra column. Instead, it's going to move to another row, which is why I said most times we don't usually use this grid template to rows because when you are designing it, you are going to be adding more rows. So sometimes it's unnecessary. So what you just do is just give it a minimum size and tell it to automatically take the shape of the size of the contents. You understand? So let me do what I'm talking about. So now we have said we want the grid column to start at 1 and it should end at 3. So if I run it, you can see now 1 has shifted to where 2 is. Do we understand this? Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay. So now the shorthand version or the quicker way of writing that, this thing we just wrote is the same thing as this. Let's assume you don't want to use grid column start and grid column end, where the grid starts and where it ends. Let's assume you don't want to use that. You can just do grid column start at 1 / end at 3. It's the same thing if you run it, you see? It's the same thing. But I think we should just keep using this. All right? All right, so that is it. So now what's the next one? Yeah? Yeah. Why? Okay, my laptop isn't charging, sorry. Sorry guys, I'm trying to charge. All right, it's charging now. Okay. So now we want to move this. This is number 2. Let's go. Sorry. So what you should know that it is always using a 12. You can see this is 1, 2. It's always using a 12 column template. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means this will be 13 grid line, because I think your browser always using the entire column is always 12. Regardless of whether you have 2, 3, 4 columns, just know that you can stretch it to as far as 12 columns. 12 columns is the maximum. So that means it is 13. This entire row here is 13 column lines. So now we want to move. Maybe you want to make this 2 to be much more longer, but you still want to leave it on top here, but you want to make it much more longer. We can say, okay, I already said grid column start and grid column end is the same thing as, you can just make it 1 like this. So this is, you are telling the grid column to start at 3, and you're telling the grid column to end at 7. So the grid column is going to start at 3 here, where this 1 ends, because this grid column ends at 3 here. So it's going to start here from 3 and then now extend to 7. All right, you can extend it that long and extend it to 7. So let's do that. You see? Hold on. So you see it extends, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it extends. If I make it extend to, let's see, if I make it extend to 13, will it go? Okay.
I'm the host.
All right, sorry guys, network cuts me off. I'm so sorry, but I'm back now. Who's the host now? So Jesu Bukumi, please, can you make me the host?
Don't make her the host.
Anyway, I'm going to report you to the director that are disturbing my class, and she will not let you come next time.
NEPA is often the light and up and down. And I'm not the one that said it.
Jesu Bukumi, are you going to make me the host now? I'm waiting for you.
She has made you the host.
Is a he. All right, thank you very much. So, did you guys get what I said? Please, if you're not understanding, let me know. If you have questions, please let me know. Hello? Any questions, guys?
No.
Okay, so you guys are understanding me, right? All right, so let's go. Now, we have already said that we want to make this a bit longer. So it will start at 3 and then you extend it to 7. So it becomes, if you count, this is 3, right? So if you count it here, this is 1, 2, oh, sorry, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is where it stops. All right. This is where it stops at 7. Let's calculate that again. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it starts at here and then it goes to 7. So now let's do number. I'm going to mute now so that nothing would disturb us. So muted everybody now. So now let's do for 3. Now for 3, we've talked about grid column start and grid column end, right? Let's do for 3. Now there is also something called grid row starts. Grid row starts. And then we also have grid row finish. Okay, so it's just like grid is talking about the grid lines 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rows is talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay. This is 2 and this is 4. Okay, so we know that grid columns is the same as this. This here is the same as this. We're just making it into one. So now for 3, we are saying that we want the grid to start at 1, the grid column to start at 1 and end at 4. So that means 3 is going to start from 1 here and it's going to end at 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to end somewhere here around 2. Okay. It's going to end somewhere here under 2 because we're saying we've told it here. You can decide to make it end here the same as 1. That means it will start at 1 and end at 3, or you can decide to make it stop at 4, or you can decide to make it stop at 7, depending. But right here, I'm saying, okay, I want it to stop at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that. Then I'll talk about the grid start row and the grid start finish. So let's make it start at 4. So you can see it is under 2 like this, right? This is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. All right. So now when we now add the, where is it? The grid row starts. So now you're saying that you want the grid row to start at 2. This is 1, this is 2. So it is already at 2. Okay, so you're saying you want to start from 2 and end at 4. 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means 3 is going to start from here and extend all the way to the end here. So it's going to push this 7, 8, and 9 away. It's going to move them to the side. So now let's do that. Did I get cut off? Is it grid row finish? Hold on, sorry. Yeah, grid row start and grid row end. So why is it not doing grid row start and grid row end? Oh, grid row start and grid row end. I wrote finish, sorry. Grid row start and grid row end. So let me see. So now it has moved. Are you see? Let me see if this number 2 moved it to 7, right? Minus 7, 1, 2. This is 7. Okay. I mean, let's assume we pushed it to let's assume we pushed it to 9. I just want to check something, guys. Okay, so if we had pushed it to 9, you see it have, but because we pushed it to 7, so you can push it as far as you want to, but we're just going to leave it at 7 because this is 9, right? This 3 we pushed it to 4, so yes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but we're going to stop at 7. So yeah, are we understanding? Are we understanding? Oh, I didn't let you guys. All right, Chizaram. Let me let you guys on mute so I can ask questions. Ehun, do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. EX, do you understand?
Yes.
Inyoluwa, do you understand?
Yes.
Bukumi, do you understand?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Do you understand? All right. Fine. Thank you very much. So
Ma,
that is.
I understand.
Thank you very much. So let me go back to muting everybody because I don't want. Okay. Thank you, Ini and Ore. So, and this grid row stats can also be written like this. Where is it? Okay, grid row. So just as we have grid column here, grid column start, we can also write the grid row start and grid row end as grid row. Just leave it as grid row. So if I write grid row like this, hold on, let me put 2/4. Let me delete this. So instead of writing the long version, we can still write the short version as well. All right. So it becomes grid column and grid row. Instead of grid column start, grid column end, then grid row start and grid. So you can just write it like this. You see, it's still the same. So now this is the pattern we're following. Okay, so this is almost the same size as this. So how do we do that? That's for 4, right? Let me copy that. So for 4, to make 4 almost the same as 3, let's see how we do that. So now we're saying that 4 should start from the column, should start from 4, row 4, right? We know that this 1 is ending at 3, so that means this is 3 here, right? So we want to move it another row closer. So it's going to start from somewhere around here, right? And we are saying that it should end at 7. It should end at the same place as 2 here. That's number 4. Okay, let me first remove the one for the row so that we don't get confused. Let me remove this one. Okay, so we want it to start at somewhere at 4 here. What do we make? This 3 is starting at where? The grid is starting at 1 and ending at 4. Okay, so we are making it start from exactly where 3 ended, because 3 ended at 4, at column 4. So that means this is 4. So 4 is going to start from here and extend to 7, which is where 2 is ending. So let's do that first. You see? All right. And now let's do for the row. So what we want the row to also be just like 3, starting from row 2 here and ending at row 4. So if I run that, they don't seem quite the same. Let me be sure I know what I'm doing. 3 was 1, 4. 1, 4, 2, 4. Okay. Okay, so it's gap. All right, so that's for 4. Where 4 is, it's not this thing. I don't want to confuse you guys, but it looks better when there is a gap there. See, so this is how it looks when there's a gap there. Okay. What I don't understand is why it's looking so different there. I'm sure I'm getting it right. Okay. 1, 4, 2, 4. Okay. Okay, so let's do for 5. For 5, we're only going to touch the grid column. So you can set this to however shape you want to give it that you give it. All right. So this is what I want to do. So right now, this is my 5. I want my 5 to start from 3 to 7. Let me see if I run that. Okay. I feel like I'm making a mistake somewhere. Okay, just to be sure. Because I'm copying that particular one. So okay. So you can see, I decided that I wanted to move my 5 down here. So I said my 5 should start at 3. Sorry. I said my 5 should start at 3, which is where it's ending. So that is almost on the same side as 1 here. And then it can end at 7, just where 2 is ending. So that means I'm going to bring my number 6 up here. Right? I'm going to bring my number 6. Okay, this is just 6. I think here I have 9. So let me make it up at 6. Okay. So how do I now bring the 6 here? So that means I'm going to say I want 6 to start at dot 6 is going to, where am I? Is going to start at column 1 here. It's going to start at column 1 here. Where it is right now is also column 1 and extend to, where does 6 end? Okay, it's going to stop at where 5 started. 5 started at 3. So this is going to be 1 and it's going to stop at 3. Yeah. So it's going to be 1. It's going to be 1. And then when I do the rows, I will move it up. But for now, let me do the column. Grid column 1, 3. Copy. So I want it to be 1, 3. All right. That is 1, 3. Let me close this here. So if I do that, now it extends to where 5 is. Okay, there's already a gap in here. Let me remove this gap. No, there's no gap there. So there is a gap. So let me first remove the gap. I don't want the gap for now. Exactly. I can see it ending at where I want it to end. So it is starting at where 5 is. I mean, it is ending at where 5 is and starting from now. I want to move it up. So that means I'll put it in. This is row 1, row 2. I think this is row 3, row 4. This is row 5 because column 4 or number 4 was starting at grid 2, row 2. So this is row 2 and ending at row 4. So here is row 4. Row 3 is somewhere in the middle. And we know that because this is number 4 and the number 4 row is ending up. So that means this is row 4. So this is where I want 6 to start. So I'm going to say I want it to start, where is it? Grid row. Grid row. Okay, so I want it to start at 6, at 4 is where again? This is at row 4. Then stop at what row? What row did you stop here? Okay, on the same row as, I think row 5 should be the last row. So this is 4, this is 5, this is 4, this is 5, so it should be 6. So that will be 6. No. Okay, stop row 5 rather. Right, and so you have this. So now let me put the gap. So now when I put the gap, there's a between everything. Yes. So I feel like I made a mistake. This is supposed to be, it should start at, okay, let this end at 3. All right. let me see. This is actually 4. Instead of 4 and end at 7. So what's the problem? You should start at 3. So guys, that's how you do it. I'm just what's the word? I'm just checking some things. Also, so this is how you actually create all this, and you can now turn it into something else. It was also how we created this here, which is almost similar, but the middle is bigger. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Oh, you guys can talk. Nobody has questions.
Yeah, no, I don't have.
Okay.
Ma,
Yes.
ma,
I'm listening.
ma.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are no questions, I want to give you guys your, okay, you go for a break and then we'll come back and we'll do our classwork. The classwork is going to be your profile page. I will show you how. What's the time now? Please, can somebody tell me what the time is?
10:43.
Okay, so let's come back
Ma.
at 10. Yes.
Miss Sohan.
I don't hear you. Yes.
Miss Sohan.
Yes.
The time is 10:43.
And I said come back at 10:53 so that we come back at 10:53 so that we'll start. We'll do your classwork.
What did you say?
Ma, when are we coming back?
Break 10:53. That's when we're coming back. Come back at 10:53.
Okay.
1, 4, 2, 4.
Mario mute.
I'm not on mute, safe.
Mr. Han, you are muted.
I know we're on break now. Oh, it's almost 2:53. Okay. So we're already back. So I'm going to give a class work. It's actually an assignment that we have done before. And then, wait, is everybody back first of all? Are we all back? Let me see. So please, if you are back in class, raise your hand, though. If you're back in class, raise your hand. Okay. How come now? Okay, so Inolua is back, Ora is back. Ehun, Iremide, EX. Who else is here again? Ehun, Iremide, EX, Jesu Bukumi. Okay, Jesu Bukumi is back. So Ehun, EX, Iremide, where are you guys? Oh? Break is over. Anyways, so remember that time I gave you an assignment about, let me stop sharing my screen now.
I'm back.
Okay, thank you. So you can put your hand down now, guys. All right, thank you. Just to become, you can lower your hand. All right. So I want everybody to go and open to that about.html assignment I gave that time. I want everybody to go there. So if you've opened your own, please indicate by raising up your hand if you've opened your own. Okay. Okay, Inelu has opened his own. The rest of you, I'm waiting. Because that's going to be your classwork. Ire, Ore, Jesubukumi, EX, Elmo, I'm waiting for you. If you've opened your assignment, your about.html assignment, let me know. Okay, Bukumi has opened his own. So I'm waiting for EX, Elmo, Ore. In the only way you're supposed to help Ore open his own.
Okay. Yes, open his own.
Ma,
Yes.
I'm using a different laptop from the one.
Okay, then you're going to. You're going to open a new file then and write about you. It's nothing serious. You can always go and edit it later. But you're going to open a new file. It's what about you? Bukumi and Inyolu, you can put your hands down. It's what about you? Because this is part of your project. That's why I want you guys to do it.
My VS Code is not responding. I'm trying to open it again.
Your what?
My VS Code is not responding.
Oh, okay, okay. Please try. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to try that. I'm also going to give Ehun 2 minutes to try. So what you just need 2 minutes to create another one. So what you just need to do is this. Let me share my screen for those of you who already have it. So it should look like this. So all you just need to do, let me copy the H1 and then contact me. Okay, so let me start here. So after you've opened your body, you open a H1. You write, this is Ini's own I'm using. You open a H1. And for those of you who can see my screen, I'm sure Ini, you have a paragraph that my name is Inioluwa Ilesomi, blah, blah, blah. All right. you have a paragraph like that. And I told you that day you should have a link, and then you should link it to your mail, href mail to, contact me. So if you have this, let me know. I also asked you to put your pictures there. So let me remove this image that is here. Okay, this is a div class image. All right.
I've done that.
Okay, you've done that. Okay, have you found yours?
I don't have a picture of myself in my laptop.
Yes.
You don't have a picture of yourself. Okay, in Yolua, just use any picture that you can for now. Then you will change it later. But we need a picture there. So use any picture that you can. You have pictures on your. Yes.
I've done that. Give me the remote. Give me the remote. I'm in the class. Give me the remote.
You have a
Give me the remote.
Who is that one shouting, give me the remote? You are my class. So. Okay, so what we're going to do is very simple. We just talked about grid, and I'm going to use the grid system to also do this. So please pay careful attention, because you're going to do this after I finish doing it. So this is the code. This is the code. Let me go and bring the browser out. I think the browser is. Okay. Oh, hold on. I want to save this yet. Okay, so this is telling me I have an issue. This is my body, this is H1. It's telling me something is wrong. This is H1. This is Kevin, this is. Also don't need this here. So fine. So let me go to the browser. Yes. The browser. So you should have something like this, especially if this is what you have done. For those of you who had your CSS in a different, you have to check your page. Do you see, is it to a CSS file? If it's linked to a CSS file.
That.
Okay. Please, if your page is linked to a CSS file, please delete it. In your just link to a different CSS file, you will know if it's linked to a different CSS file if you see something inside your head element. If you see link is equals to real.
Mr. Honey, you're breaking.
Am I still breaking? Am I still breaking?
Ma, I've linked it to my CSS file.
Okay, you've linked it, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to do me a favor. Delete that one that you linked to your CSS file first. Delete the link to your CSS file. You know how to delete it right in.
Yes.
Okay, so delete that link. We'll come back to it. Delete that link like that. Okay. Okay, and so you can also do it as I'm doing it. It's your classwork, but you can also do it as I'm doing it. So if you've written your body, and then you wrote a H1, and then you also wrote your paragraph, and you wrote about yourself, and then you opened a link. If you do it, you can copy me right now as I'm doing it. In short, okay, no, write about yourself. So you open a link, you put a class, you put a button. You can see the class is button. The href is mail to ini. Make sure this mail to and this what's this called again? Colon is there. And you also put a title, contact in your Lua. So it should look like this, and you should have an image of yourself. All right. So if you've put that, now we're going to style this to make a lot of sense. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to start our styling inside our head. So you can go to your head and write your style and close it. So now you start styling in the middle. So we just talked about grid. Let me all right. So this is it here. I want to put the browser VS Code side by side. Please, why are you singing? You're disturbing me. So now we're going to start. So we just learned about grid today. And remember, oh my God, what is it?
You said in your lower in lesson mean. You did add the I at the end.
All right, I'll add it later. Thank you very much. Where is it? Okay, yeah. All right. So back to the styling. So we had learned about grid today, and remember how I said that the grid must always have a container, right? So we are going to put a container on top of our write-up. So you go here, after your, let me make it bigger. After your body here, you go, you open your div, right? You put your class is equals to grid hyphen container. Because this is a grid, we are going to put the images in a grid. Okay? And so you don't close your div here. Oh, sorry. You don't close your div here. We're going to place this right up, this text, and we're going to place this text and this image in a div, in a grid. So the grid is going to be side by side. It's going to be two grids that are side by side. It's going to look like this. Let me show you what I'm trying to do. It's going to look like this. Let me go to that place. If I can still find it. Oh, okay, let me take it here. I want us to do something like this for our profile page. Something like this. You can see this line, although I use Iremide's write-up. So this is what I'm going to design right now. Okay, so let me go back there. All right. So, like I said, when we are creating a container, when we are creating a container, the container is, as you can see, this is a grid. We did not put a border. That's why you cannot see the lines, border lines here. If you have put a border, you will see one border line here, another. But like I said, because I was trying to show you guys, that's why I kept a border line. But there won't be border line here. So this is in this picture is in one place. This is another place. They are both grids. How do we do that? That's what we're trying to do. You go, you have your grid container, and because they are both in the grid container, you close this grid container. The closing div will be down after your image, which is what is here. After your image, this is your text, this is your link and your button, and then this is your image, right? Just like when we're doing in class, each item had their own div when you close it. You know, div had a class, then each item has its own div. So let me put this one, let's say item. Yes, class. So let's say this is equal to grid item. Item. Okay. So now this grid item is going to have its own. This is one grid item. We're not going to close it here. We're going to close it at the end of your contact me button here, because this, just like if you check here, you see this is where this is on this div, is on this this your write up and then your button. So it's going to be here, is in one grid, and so that's going to be in one div on its own. Just like when we're doing 1, 2, 3, 1 had its own div, 2 had its own div, 3 had its own. So this is for 1, but it's not going to be 1. It's going to be a write up. It's going to be your H1, your paragraph, and then your link, which is a button. All right. So that's what I did here. I ended it at. I'm going to end it at your. This is going to end here. I hope you are following because you are going to do yours. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody now. I'm going to mute everybody now. All right. Okay, so if you have any question, put in the chat. So that is why I kept this div here. You can see I now gave this image is going to be in a different grid. So that's going to have its own div. And that's why you have this div image. So I don't want to call it grid item. I'm going to call this class image. I'm also going to call this, I don't want to call it grid item. I'm going to call it text, because we're not designing the grid. And giving it style like as we now are designing actual content. All right, sorry, please give me a moment. Okay, so I hope I understand. I hope I explained that this is your grid container. You must always have a grid container. Now, this is a text that's going to be in one grid. So it's going to have it's going to be on the right side, on the right grid. So it's going to have its own div. That's why there's a div here, and I gave you the class of text because we're going to have our text here. You can see our H1, you can see our paragraph, you can also see our link that we turned into a button, name the class button and all of that. So this is going to be another grid item. It's going to be on another grid by the side. And so it has its own class of image, and then I ended the div. So that's simple enough. So now if you check your browser, it should be looking something like this. If you go to check your browser, it should look like this, because we have not added the styles. That's why it's looking like this. But yes, this is it. So now let's go and add the styling. So the first thing that we want to do, right, is to select the grid container. All right, so I have done this before. I did this before class so that I could just be copying it. All right, so first of all, let us design the H1. Now I want, oh no, let's do the grid container first. So my grid container, right, let me copy it. So we're going to select the grid container, select it, and then you give it this styling. You see, so the display is grid, and I want the grid columns to have, I want it to have 2 columns side by side, because as you can see here, this is 2 columns. This is one here. This is one here. That's 2 columns. So that's why I gave it 1 fraction, 1 fraction. Remember how I said you can make it fraction, you can make it auto, or you can make it percentage. I can do 50-50, you know, but I'm going to leave it at 1 fraction like this. So I gave it a grid gap of 30 so that there will be space in between the gap. And I also made sure that I align them center. Okay, I didn't teach you guys about align items. Okay, next time I will teach you. But these align items, just make sure that everything is written in the center. Like I see, this is in center. They are not at the end here or at the end here. They are right here in the center. So if you go and check, did I save this? If I save this now and I go to the browser, this is how it will look like. Let me see. You see, now it has separated into two columns, right? Into 2 columns here. All right. So now we're still going to style it so that it should look like this. While still styling, is going to look like this. Just follow. All right. So this is how it looks like now. Quite. We have managed to put it in a grid. The next thing we're going to design there is the text. Okay, sorry. Okay, before we design the text, I want to design my H1. I want my H1. If you check here, look at how the H1 is looking. The H1 is looking bigger, and it has a line height that is bigger. So we're going to design it, because right now, if you go to the browser, this is how our own H1 is looking. All right. So now I want to change this. So let's go to the H1. So select the H1. So this is your grid container. Always remember when you are styling, this is a class, right? That is a class. H1 is an element. So H1 will come before a class when you are styling. H1 would always come before a class when you are styling. So that's why H1 is there. So these are the properties I'm going to give H1. You can copy it. So I want my H1 to have a line height of 30 px. I want it to have a margin bottom. That means I want it to have space. If you look at the H1 here, the H1 here is on top of the paragraph. So I want it to have a space in between. I want the H1 and this paragraph to have a space, because right now I don't think it has the space. You can see, okay, there is a small space, but I want it to be bigger. And I also want it to, oh, don't worry, let's finish styling it, you will see it. So now I gave it a font size of 64. 64 means that it will be bigger. Do you understand? It will be bigger. So this is what I want. Then I gave it a line height of 80. Oh, sorry. I think it's going to be a line. Let me check 80 first, then we'll check 60. Let me delete one. So hold on. Sorry, hold on. Give me a moment. All right, sorry. So now this is the properties. I said I wanted a, let me remove them because there is a space here already. So let me remove the margin bottom. Let me first remove that. There's a space there already. So I gave it a font size of 64. I increased this to be white. Let me reload. Oh, I don't think I saved it. Did I save it? Okay, I didn't save it. Let me. Okay. It won't look good like this. All right, so now if I reload it, you can see now it is bigger because I gave it a font size of 64. All right, I gave it a font size of 64. I gave it a line height of 80. Now let me change this line height to 30. Let me see how it will look like. Okay. This is a line, the font weight is bold. So let me change that to 30. You see, 30 is small. The line between the two of them is what is line height. So I'm going to make this 80 again so that it will have space. I taught you guys about line height the other day. I said it is the space in between texts. So you see, this right here is 80. The space in between two of them here is 80. So now it looks good. I don't need a margin bottom because there's already enough space by default. There's enough space right there. So this is how it will look like now. So if you are following, you can be doing it, or like I said, it's going to be your classwork and we'll all check it. So now that's for the H1. So it's already coming out. So now let me design my paragraph because I want my paragraph to look like this. All right. So you can see there is a line height there and all of that. So let me go and let me do the paragraph. All right. So is. All right. So for my paragraph, I wrote the, like I said before, I already did it before class. So I'm just copying and pasting. So for my paragraph, because paragraph is an element as well, it will come before the class. So paragraph. So I'm giving my paragraph a font size of 14. I'm giving it a margin bottom. Let me see. Let me remove the margin. Oh my God. Okay, so let me remove the margin bottom first. I don't know if I'll need a space there. All right. So I gave it a font weight of normal and I gave it a line height of 30. So let me reload and see how it is. Oh, I didn't save it, sorry. Okay, so now VS Code is telling me that there's an error somewhere. Where's the error? Where's the error? Where's the error? Okay, so hold on, I'm trying to figure out the error. Oh, hold on. Okay, so the error is not there. I don't know why it's giving me an error message. Oh, there's supposed to be a div here closing everything. Okay, so that makes sense now. So I fixed the error. So let me copy what I did for my paragraph again. So in styling my paragraph, I said I'm going to give it. Okay, please let me charge. Sorry, hold on. Okay, so I gave my paragraph a font size of 14. Let me remove the margin because I don't know if I'll need the margin. When we look at it, we'll know. So I remove the margin and I gave it a line height of 30. So let us see it here. If I come and reload it, you see, so there's a line height here of 30. There is a small there is a space here. Okay, maybe I don't need a margin bottom. I like this space like this. So let me leave my paragraph like so. The font size is 14. That's the size of the right top. The font size is 14. The font weight is normal, and then I gave it a line height of 30. Does anybody have any question? Any question? If you don't understand, please let me know. Do you have any questions? If you understand, say I understand.
Understand.
All right, thank you. So that is for it, right? So the next thing we're going to design is the button. We're going to design this, your link. So if you check your link, how we wrote our link then was that we gave it, where's the link? Okay, so this is the link. We gave it a class of button, and then we gave it a ref and a title, and this is the wordings that was there, the contact me. Now you just have to select that class of button. I designed a button. Yeah, let's go there. So you just have to select that class of button, which is what we are going to do now. So I'm going to go back to and I'm going to put it on top of the grid, you know. So let me put it here, the button. So this is the styling for the button that I did. I said I wanted let me remove this margin right first. Let's remove the margin first. We'll come back to that. Okay, so I gave it a background color of purple. This is the background color I gave it. I gave it a border radius of 4. I explain where border radius is. When you give something a border or a background or a border, it always have a square shape. But when you add the border radius, that square will now become, you know, a little bit rounded. I will show you. So I said I want the color of the text to be white. I want to remove this underline, this text decoration, this underline. I want it to be none. So I want it to have a font size of 18. I gave it a line height of 27, and then I gave it a padding. Let me save that and let you see it. So if I reload, now this is how my button look like. So you can see the background color, which is what you are seeing here. This color, this purple color, this is it. So the border radius is why it is a little bit rounded. If you remove the border radius like this, right, and then you reload. Oh, I didn't save that. I just remove the border radius like that, save it, and then I reload. You can see it is so square. It is so square, but when I put the border radius back, let me put the border radius. All right. And then I reload it. You see now it's a bit rounded. So that's what the border radius will do for you. So the color here is white. The text decoration, it has removed the underlining thing there. So the font weight is 8. The font size is 18. Do we need this line height? Let me see. I can remove this. If I remove this line height, what will happen? If we really need it or not. So now let me reload. Okay, so the space under it closes a little, but not to worry. I can put space. I can use a margin to put a space there. So I'm going to remove that line height. So now this padding, it has a 15 px padding on top and 30 at the sides. 15 on top. That's why the on top here is smaller than this. The space by the side is bigger. Here is bigger because here is 30 and here is 15. I hope you guys are understanding. So that is it. So I want to give a space between this paragraph here and the button. So I want a space to be there. I'm going to go to my paragraph and I'm going to say bottom margin or margin bottom. Margin bottom. Let me give it 10 px. All right. 10 px space. Let me give that. Let me reload. Oh, that's smaller. So let's make it 20. Right. 20. Okay. So 20 looks good. When I originally did it, how many did I put? Okay, I put 50. So let's make it 50 because I want it to have enough space. So let's make the padding margin bottom 50. All right. So sorry, 50 px. All right. So if I save that and then I reload. All right. So there's enough space now between the two of them, between the paragraph and so you can see it's already beginning to look like this. It's beginning to look like this. So we're still going. All right, so let's go. So this is how we are now. So the next thing we want to design, the next thing we would want to design to make it better. Okay, so now I want to, if you check this, you see that there is a space here, there is a space on top, and there is, so let us first design this one and leave a space there. So
Is it not Vaseline that I'm looking for?
please, I'm going to mute everybody. Right. So now, the class for where, now this, no, this is not what I'm going to. Now this entire section, like this entire grid is one grid. And if I check my VS Code, I can see that it is is under the div of class of text. This is text. You can see the class here is text, right? So that's what we're going to design. All right, so we're going to select text. Although by default, so we're going to select text, right? So text is a class, so text can go under grid container. All right. So by default, the browser already placed the text as the first one. Although right here in our CSS, you can, in case it doesn't come up like that, you can tell the browser to place it in the first column, which is why we have this here, this grid column. So there are 2 columns there. We have 2 columns. So you're telling the browser, put this text, this one. Although by default, because we wrote it first, it is already there, but you can still, in case you are writing your code and you see that it doesn't become like that, then you can turn it like that. All right. You know, so, okay, in this case, I'm just going to leave it, right, at placing it in the first column, okay? So we're going to give it a margin top of 100 because I want there to be a space here. If you check this, sorry. If you check see, there is a space on top here. There's a space here, all right? And there is also, but I don't think I'm going to put a space there. But yeah, I want to put this space here and this space here. So I'm going to say that I want the margin top to be 100 px. I want the margin left. The margin left is this. This side is the margin left. This is the margin right. You know, because they are now in different sectors, they are now in different sections. So this can have its own margin right. But I'm not putting a space here. I'm more concerned about the space here. So it's going to be margin left is 100. And then there is a margin. I don't think I need a margin bottom. Because when it comes down, by the time the margin top will drag it down, anywhere it remains at the bottom, I'm fine with that. So I don't need a margin bottom. You can stop anywhere as long as there is a space. So let me save this. I hope you are following because you're going to do this classwork. And then I reload, and you can see now there is a space up here and there is a space here. So I'm very okay with the space under. I don't need to add one there. So that's a margin top here and a margin top there. All right. So that's for the text. Now let's do the one for the image section. For the image section, I think I gave that a class of. So normally, okay, let me put that like this. Copy. So normally, luckily, by default, we already kept, because of the way we arrange it, that we put the image second. You can say I gave it a class of image. So the browser had already put it in the second one. Imagine if we had put our image first and we had put the text second, the image would be in the first column and then we might need to change it. So in this case, I'm still going to put it like, I'm still going to select the image and place it in the second column because it's the right thing to do. Just above, you might not need it because, like I said, your browser has already done it for you based on how you wrote it. So, but if you are going to, maybe your browser did not do it and you want to put it in the second column, you would write an image and then you select the grid column to be number 2. Okay, to be number 2, and because it's an image. Right here, you can see they extended, this is 1, 2. So that means they wanted the grid column to start at 1 and then extend to the second one. Do you understand? So it will just be 1/2. So it will extend, so it's a little bit bigger. But they wanted the image section. Of course, it's an image and an image will be bigger. So they spanned it, they wanted it to start from 2, which is where 1 stops, and then they expanded it to 3. So it's still basically 1 column because 1 to 2 is 1 column, 2 to 3 is another column. So now I just explained this when I was explaining all these ones here. The same thing that they did here. They just like, let me do this number 1 again. Since number 1 that we carried to 2, what they did was that they carried number 1, you know, it's 2 columns. This 1, 2, it's 2 columns that are in our page now because we did 1 FR, 1 FR. So what they did was that they moved this to number 2. They moved 1 to number 2. So when you run that, you see 1 is number 2, and then they moved number 2 from 2, starting here at 2. They started it at 2 and it ended at 3. 3 is just the next column, so that's just another one. 2, and they put it here 3. So it becomes 2 columns like this, although in our own there is a gap. So there's a gap here. There's a gap of 10px. If you check our grid container, you see a gap. So now this is where our text is, this is where our image is. So that's basically what they did here, so you can leave it in case your own is not looking like that. So now there's additional styling for the image. So we use a max width, a property called max width, and we say we want it to be 100%. So that this is so that this image here will not exceed the container, because this is a container, right? We wrapped it in a container. We wrapped this in the container, and it's just because we don't have any other content below it. If we had other content, because we are going to do like our sustainability page that me and EX we are going to do, is going to have something like this, and it's going to have other content below it. But we don't have any content below it, so even if it spills out of the container, it doesn't matter. But the good practice is that we put it at a max width of 100, so it doesn't go more than 100% of the container, which is why max width is there. It's just a good practice. Then we have a margin right. A margin right, because I want to, okay, there is already a space here, so I don't really need a space. Where I wanted the space was here, so I kept a space here. That's why there's a margin. I mean, we can put this with a gap as well, but I just wanted to shift only the image. I didn't want, if I put a gap, if I increase the grid gap, then the space here, this margin, the margin left of the text will also shift, and I don't want this one to shift. I like where it is here. It is only this image I want to shift. So that's why I am putting a margin right. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's a margin right. Okay, I think this is too much, so I reduced it. When I run the code, I will know why. Excuse me. So there is a margin right, there's a margin top. I put a margin top of 100 on the text here. So normal for them to be on the same place, I have to put a margin top of 100, and I don't think I need a margin bottom. So I'm going to remove the margin bottom. So this is a margin. So let me save this and run it. So I think this margin right. Sorry, hold on, give me a moment. Okay, so I'm back. So this margin right is for the right of the image. So I feel like maybe this space is too much. Let us reduce it. This is like 200. So let me go back to, let me save this. And then when I reload, and notice that when I wanted to design, style the image in the column itself, in the grid itself, I use this. Okay. Now selecting image means that, let me open this. So selecting, you see, I selected this alone will just affect the grid. If I select only this image, it's just going to affect the grid. Maybe I want the grid to be on the right or on the left. So that's why when I was selecting it, the only thing I designed there was the grid. But if I want to select the image itself, I want to style it. For instance, now let me move this style up there. Let me remove this and move it there. Or let me just leave it here. But you can put this style, this width and height, you can put it in this image. So you select the image, the class, and then the element itself. This is the class image, this is the element image. You can see it here. This is the element image. So it means that you are talking to only the image, right? So now let me save this after I've put the margin top and the margin bottom and everything. So this is how it is. Now let me reload. So now it has come down. Okay, I think it's still the same. Maybe we should leave it like this. I think it's still the same. So I might not even need a margin right. It's still the same. But I'm just going to leave it there. You can try to take it up. So the only thing I actually put here is the margin top and the max height. So that's for the image. What other thing do we need to design? I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so the hover, the button hover. Now, when I click on this, I want this to turn white. I want the background color to turn white. Now, if the background color turns white, I won't be able to see what is inside because this write-up is white. So let me first do that. Button hover. I've taught you before, when you want to hover around something, let me put that button hover under the button itself. Okay, here. All right. So button hover. So button colon then hover. I want that when I hover around it, I want the background color to change to white. So that's why I have background color white. Now, if I save this and I go back to the browser and I reload, now if I put my mouse to hover around it, you see it becomes white. But they can't see that write-up again because that write-up is white. It's white on a white background. So we have to change the color of that write-up to black. And we'll just do it by coming back here and writing color black. So when I hover, the text will be black. All right, so let me reload. And then when I come here, see, now it's black. All right. And because we put the href as your mail to your email, if I click on it, it will just open the person's email sending portal. All right. Any questions, class? So this is how it is. Any questions? Let me let you unmute. Any questions?
Yes.
What's your question?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, you don't have any question.
Can we start?
Yes, now you guys should do your assignment, your classwork. Open to your about page. All right. And then design the way I just did it.
Mama, I don't have it about pay.
Who is that? All right.
It's Irem there for your information.
Remember, you have an about page. Check it. Check your files.
I
So
don't
if you don't,
remember that page about.
and also check the about page. If you don't, then you start from the beginning. Let me share my screen. If you don't, you start from the beginning and start doing it. So the time right now is, this is 11:41. So we're going to do it till, how many minutes should I give you guys? Let me give you guys 20 minutes. So I'll come back like 12:05 and then we can close for the day. I'll give you an assignment and we're done. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys 20 minutes. When you are done, just raise your hand up when you are done. We'll check and we'll do correction.
Ma, what is the class?
The class will end as soon as we are done with our classwork. The class will end. Are we doing our assignments? If you have any questions, let me know. Let me share my screen.
Ma, I didn't hear the assignment.
I mean, the classwork.
I mean the classwork.
Yeah, the classwork is what I just did in class now. I just finished designing this page. I just designed. That's what you're supposed to do. So please, if you are done, raise your hands. This class is going to take longer than usual. We're going to finish by 1.
This is going to be the easiest classwork.
How's it going? How's it going, my students? Nobody has finished. Nice. All right.
What has left is to do the image.
To
All right.
finish.
So when you are done, raise your hand, then you share your screen so I can see. Ehun said he's left with his. Ehun said he's left with the image. Okay. Who else is there? Inyolu, how is it going? Inyolu, how is it going?
Fine.
Okay. Ire, how is it going? Ire?
I don't really know how to arrange it well, though.
Okay.
I'm
Just keep
done,
trying.
ma.
Okay, Ire.
I'm
Alright.
done.
EX, how is it going?
I'm done already.
I know, I've heard you. I'm asking EX. EX, how is it going?
Mom, can I share my screen?
Wait now.
I'm almost done.
Okay, EX is almost. Bukumi, how is it going? Bukumi.
Mommy.
All right, Ire, share your screen. Let me see what you've done.
Okay. Screen.
Okay. Go to your, oh Jesus. Go to your, what is it called? Go to your browser.
Okay. Let me just stop sharing.
Where's your browser? Okay. All right, you can stop sharing now. Me and you are going to remain after the class.
No, why?
Because we're going to do your correction.
I'm getting up.
Okay. So, Oluwa, share your screen. Yes. What did you say?
I'm done.
We done. Ehun. Oh yeah, Ehun, let me see. Ehun, is this what I did? Is this what you saw?
Yeah.
Go to your VS Code. So where is the grid? Where is the grid? Where is it? All right, stop sharing. We're not going to leave here today until you're done. Stop sharing. Oluwa, share your screen.
Excuse me, Mom.
What did you say? I can't hear you.
He's not done. He's trying to say he's not done.
Okay, because I want to use his own for correction. Let me give you people the style. Okay, let me paste the styling in the chat box. Okay, so this is the styling. Ehun, apply this style that I just put. Put this style I just put in your what's it called? Put it in your style. Okay, so the body of your text should look like this. Let me give you guys. But you will change the write-up and the names and the email to your own. Let me put everything. This is the
Mama, you're
body.
not saying.
I sent it, check the chat. Check the chat, you will see the styles there. Then this is the body. Make sure you change the information. Okay, let me see. This is the body. So that is the body. Let me write the continuation of the body. So I've put everything in the chat box. Just make sure you change the information to your own. So I'm going to give you guys another 10 minutes to do that. I'm going to give you guys another 10 minutes. I put the style and the setup and everything in the chat box. So I'm giving you guys another 10 minutes to do it. I don't think it's charging. No charging. So 10 more minutes. So if you are done, just raise your hands.
So hard, I'm done. Done, I am done, I am done, I am done, I am done.
Share your screen, let me see.
Done. Can you see my screen? My screen, my screen, my
Who
screen.
is this? Oh, is this what I designed? Is this what I designed for you? Go up, let me see. I gave you the star. You know what? Share your VS code. Share your VS code.
This is the VS code, VS code, VS code, VS code, VS code, VS code.
I said go to your about.html. This one that is
This
here.
is
This is
this
no.
is
This
my about the HTML.
Mr. Han, I'm done.
okay. Hold on. Let me finish with So now delete everything on this file.
Which this one?
Yes, delete everything.
Okay, including the doc type.
Everything. Yes. We don't have time. Be fast.
I've removed everything.
Now press
I've removed
your
everything.
press your exclamation mark.
I've done that, done that.
Now go and copy the code I gave you in the chat box.
I should what?
The code I gave you in the chat box. Copy that code.
No, my brother is done.
Okay, ma.
Now, one after the other. First copy the styles. First copy the style and keep it in your head. Then you go and copy the body. Do you understand, Ehun?
Yes.
First copy the style. Where you're pasting is not where the style is. Oh.
Okay. First copy the style.
Oh yeah, Ehun, be fast now. Why are you taking time? See, I still have other people to check.
I'm trying. I'm going at my fastest speed.
Okay.
I want to have to do it carefully so I do not take other stuff that I'm not meant to take.
You are right. So after Ehun, I'll go to Ire. I mean, I'll go to others.
Bro,
Why is it taking this long?
I have it already, but it will just stop when I want to copy it.
When you finish, when you have selected everything, you just press your control button, press Control C. Control C will copy it immediately.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I
So
should get the body right.
Scroll up, let me see.
Okay, ma.
Okay, so that's the style. Oh, yeah, scroll down. Okay, so
Next,
now
I
go
should
and
copy the body.
Yes.
Okay. Ma, I've done that.
All right, now change the information. Change. Hi, my name is Elhu. Right after. Sorry, hold on. Ehun, you know what? Change the write-up, change this email, and change the pictures to your own. Then I will come back. Please stop sharing. Let me go to Inyolu and Co. Stop sharing. I'll come back to you.
Okay, ma.
All right. So, Orelu, share yours. Orelu, share your own. I'm waiting to know. All right. So, Ore, scroll up. Let me see. Ore, scroll up. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so Ore, stop. Okay, so let me take over your screen because there's a small mistake here, which is what I want to call let's request. Okay, this is Ore, right? This is Ore, right? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so Ore. Okay, I'm going to delete this because you kept your style inside your body instead of your head. Please, you're going to have to stop moving your mic, your mouse, so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to correct it for you. Transfer. Ore, can you delete that last B and the brackets for me? Delete it, please.
Ma, I'm also I finished.
And just hold on. Ore,
Okay,
can you
okay.
delete? You can see it here. I'm trying to delete it. And you know what? Don't worry. Okay, it's working now. So Ore, please scroll down. Okay. So hold on. Scroll up. This is supposed to be in your head. Scroll up. Okay. So this is supposed to be in your head. Okay, so now let me scroll down. Okay, so this should be the end of the head. So Inyoluwa is going to have to copy your own, because every time I tell him, I don't think he's doing it. So this time he's going to copy your own. Okay, so this is the body. Okay. Okay, so this is where your picture is. This is height. You spelled this wrong. Yeah. Or are you trying to talk? Because I can see that your network is bad. Oh, sorry. How many times are you writing this thing already? I know you're trying to talk, but your network seems like it's bad. Okay, so let me scroll up. So I'm seeing the div. So that's div, and this is going to close here. We're supposed to all right, if you're trying to talk, put in the chat box because your network is bad. If you're trying to say something, put in the chat. Your network is bad. You're breaking. Okay, so alright, save this and now go to your browser. Let us see. Save it and go to your browser. So for others who are done, just wait. Okay, so reload it. All right, this is nice. Only your, go back to your VS Code. So the problem now is your picture. Go back to your VS Code. So your picture here, you're supposed to have a picture in your, I can't even find your this thing. What folder is this in? Orolua, where did you save your folders? Here? Where did you save your folders? Hmm? Ma. Okay. All right, where did you save your folders now? All right, stop sharing your screen, please. We have other people to stop sharing your. When you found your folders, let me know. Stop sharing.
Mom, I'm done.
Okay. You see, now it looks better. So for you, stop sharing. No, wait, okay, don't worry. For you, where's my, let me share my screen. What you are going to do, can you hear me?
Yes.
You should put your navigation bar on top like this. All right, let me show you so that you can go. Let me look for the navigation bar.
Yes, ma'am.
Same navigation bar that you for. ES, are you done?
Yes.
You are done, right? EXO.
Yes, I'm done.
All right. After this Elm's own, now come to you so that you can go to. So I want to go and copy that navigation bar.
No. What? She put something inside the chat. Use the one inside the chat. Just tell her that you're going out and that you have to leave soon. Just no. Let me send her a message.
You are disturbing my class, Elhun. Please mute. And are you looking at your assignment? Because this is for you. So what you are going to do, Elhun?
What am I supposed to do?
You are supposed to put your navigation bar there. All right. So what you do, this is the navigation bar. First of all, Elhun, share your CSS code. Share your screen. Share your VS code. Share your screen. Let me show you something.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's good. Okay. So your CS.
Can you see it now?
I see it now. So your CS code from yesterday did not work on an external file, right?
Yes.
So now it's still not working.
Yes, it's not working.
All right, no problem.
I think I know why it's not working.
Why?
The laptop that I used to use before was spoiled. So my brother helped me put all the files there here, and those ones I use external CSS. So I think it's because of the laptop itself.
Okay, so you're going to try it today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I want you to do is that stop sharing. What I want you to do is stop sharing. Let me go.
I've stopped sharing.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Hold on, let me share. What I want you to do is this. Now, this already has an external CSS file, right?
Yes.
Let me put it in an external CSS file. This is an external CSS file, right?
Maya. Yes.
Let me delete all of this. Okay, this is an external CSS file. So this is what we just finished doing today. So I want to copy this my style. I'm going to put in my external file. All right. I'm going to put it in an external file here. I'm going to put it here. Okay. So I'm going to link it here. I don't know if I've linked it on top already. Okay, I've not linked it, so I'm going to link it now. Look at it so you can do your own very well. Okay. Okay. So this is the, okay, this is my external file. Let me move it close together. All right, let me go and link it, please. Let me link it. This is how you link it. Sorry, hold on, give me a moment. All right, so my connection is really bad. Let me copy it. So this is how you link it. Make sure that you have this link right here in your head. This particular link. So this is style.css, this is style.css. So now I've linked it. Let me save this. And let me save the one in the style.css. Who is the person that is drawing on my computer? All right, so it's telling me now that there is, okay, sorry. This is an error. Okay, so now I've saved it, no errors. I've saved it. Let me save this one. Okay, no errors. So if I check my let me check the browser. Okay. Oh, that's changed. What changed about it now? Did I make a mistake? So okay, yes, I made a mistake. The grid container, I removed it. Div is class equals grid container. Grid container.
It's not going to buy.
Okay, so is there, let me see if there's another. All right, so now let me check the browser again. Please, whoever is drawing should stop it, please. I'm trying to do something serious here. Okay, so you see that it's like this now. So you're going to put your navigation, all right? So this is how your page will look like. Now, if you go to your navigation page is going to look here. Sorry, I think it's here. All right. Now this is your navigation, right? This is the style of your navigation. All right. So I'm going to copy this style right now and put it in my CSS. So you copy the style from your navigation bar, you put it in your CSS. I'm going to copy. Oh God, sorry. I'm going to copy. All right, so copy like this. Put it in your external CSS. I'm going to come and put it in my external CSS. You can put it in front because the navigation is going to be on top of your about page. So you can put it on top of your CSS. So I'm going to make it the first here, paste it. So now this is the CSS, and I'm also going to go and copy the HTML of it. This is it, like this. Copy and paste it. So you're going to paste it on top here. I think that is before the body. Yes, before the body. So you paste it, you know. So let me save this and save this, right? Now if I go to the browser, okay, this is the browser. You can see my navigation bar is on top. So that is what you are going to do for me. All right. All right.
Ma, please, can you say it again?
It's not a matter of saying. So I copied, this is my navigation bar CSS. This is the style of my navigation bar. This is the CSS. I kept it in the same CSS as our about page. You can see the button hover, the grid container. So everything is there. This is the CSS for both the about page and then the navigation. They're all in one place. So I linked it to my HTML here. You can see this is what we did today. The about is here, and this is the HTML of my navigation. So everything is in one page now. By the time you save it and you put it there, by the time you save it and you reload, when you go to your browser, your navigation page will appear on top what we did today. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so just put your navigation page on that about page. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And one more thing that you will do, that's one assignment. One more thing that you will do. Are you hearing me, Ehun?
Yes.
You see that place where you have about, you see here. So right now, let me. So what will be your href will not be? What will be your href will be? I think that will not be what's the name of that? What's the name of? Oh, okay, don't worry, just do it like that and leave it first. All right. And that's your assignment. Add your what's it called? Add your navigation. Yeah, to your about page. All right, EX, let me see yours before I move to Aurelio and Co.
No,
What did you say? EX, let me see yours. Please give me a moment. EX, share your screen. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Share your VS Code, please. Share your VS Code. Okay. So EX, delete everything on this you're about. Delete everything. Then go and copy what I copied, put in the chat, just like the way Evan did it. Bukumi, I'm coming for you. Orelua, you should be done by now. EX, do you know how to copy it, right? Do you need me to help you?
No.
So stop sharing. I'll come back to you. Let me go to Bukumi. Evan is done for the day. Bukumi, let me see yours.
Oh, please, my own needs help.
Yes, I'm coming to you and your brother. Copy your brother's own, because I'm not going to do it 2 times. Copy your brother's own, Ini. Just Bukumi. Bukumi, you
Ma, I'm using a phone.
So you cannot do it.
I've done it, but I can't on the laptop now.
How am I sure that it is right? How will I make corrections for you now? All right, no problem. You can just take it. Since you cannot share your screen, you are done for the day. You just have to create it. Make sure you create the page and link your navigation. Put your navigation bar there. Tomorrow I'll do correction for you. If you want to stick around and stay, no problem. So
Okay.
Okay, you've seen it, Abi. All right, let me see. All right, share your screen. Then after Ore Inulu, I will share his screen. I'll come back to EX after she's done copying. So where did you save it? This is in downloads. Ore Oluwa. All right, Ore, go to your VS Code. Go to your VS Code. Your VS Code. Oh. Okay. So now let me take over your screen. So please accept the request. Okay. Okay. So let me see, add a folder. Now all these files in that folder, Ore. It's already there. Oh Jesus, who removed it now? Please, I need that thing to open again. All right, click on open, add a folder, click on it. I need it to open. Why is it not opening now? So I need it in downloads. Hold on. No. Hold on. Don't do anything. No. Okay. This is what I want to open. Add a folder. Yes. Okay. So this is your about page, right? Inni, where's your picture here? Okay, that's your picture, right? Or I need you to respond when I'm talking. I cannot help if you're not responding. Okay, hold on. Stop pressing anything on your laptop. Just hold on. Who is this? Just hold on. Stop pressing anything. Hold on. Let me
Miss
see.
Son, I'm done. Can I share my screen?
Who is that? EX?
Yes.
Yeah, EX, you are going to wait for me to finish with Ore. All right. So,
Excuse me, ma, I'll be talking with my brother's phone now.
yeah, what?
My brother's phone. Because my speaker is having problems.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. This page we are looking at, this is it here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so where's your style.css? We have already linked it here, style.css. So let me open style.css. Okay, so that is it. So let me go back to about. So your picture, scroll down to where we are supposed to put your picture. Let me put your picture for you. Scroll down a little. This is the picture you want to use, right? Oreoluwa picture, right?
Yes, ma.
So hold on. So you are going to put the name of that picture there. You don't need to use images because you didn't put your picture in an image folder. That's why there will not be image /. If you have put your picture in an image folder, oh God, I've deleted everything. All right, no problem. SRC, right, is equal to okay. So we're going to put Oreoluwa. Yes. Now, Ore, save it and go and check your browser if your picture is there. All right, go back to your browser. All right. So, all right, your homework for today. This is your navigation bar assignment, right?
Yes, ma.
All right. Let me first go to your about and link that CSS. Scroll up, please. Scroll up. Scroll up, oh. Please give me a minute. All right, so let me see. You scrolled up here. All right, aha. So, okay, I can still control your screen. So let me copy this. Copy. Then go to your navbar assignment. Where's the CSS? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, your assignment is very simple. What you are going to do is you are going to copy all this style from H1 here to this image. You're going to copy everything like this. Sorry, hold on. Everything up to H1. You're going to copy it and you're going to paste it here. All right? You're going to paste it in this place. You're also going to go to your nav bar, copy all the style from UL here down to LI here, down to this place. You copy it and you paste it. You also paste it here. So that's two styles you are pasting here. And then you put this your navigation bar. You go back to this your navigation bar. And then you copy this. Let me just copy this one. Let me scroll down. This is the only thing you are copying from here. So your assignment is that. Your assignment is that. Yes.
Can I be doing it as you're saying it? Because I may not remember.
Oh, okay. So let me just finish this one for you.
Share my screen.
Hold on now. It's one after the other, EX. So you will, Oraoluwa, after I'm done now, you can go and copy this in your. The only thing I want you to do is to copy all your styles and put them in one CSS file. Put them in your style.css. All the style from your navigation. Stop sharing your screen. EX, so you share your own. Then in your Lua. Okay, this is much better. All right. So do you know what your assignment would be, EX?
No.
It's the same thing I gave Ehun. I want you to copy all the styles, all your styles from your navigation bar and all the styles on this about.html page. Put all of them in one place. Now, and also I want you to put your navigation bar on this page, basically. That's what I want. Let me not talk so much. Put your navigation bar on top of this page. You know how to do that, right?
Yes.
All right, fine. You can go. In the other way, it's not your turn. No. In Yolua.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, you can share your screen.
Mom, can you see it?
See it. Now go and copy the styling. Go and copy the style I put in the chat box. Scroll up, copy the style I put in the chat box and put it in the head, in your head element. Copy it now as I'm looking.
Mom, copy it.
Then paste it in the head now. Paste the style in the head section. Oh, hold on.
Need any corrections?
You do. I'm still going to check
So
yours.
can I go and leave the meeting now?
No, I'm still going to check yours.
Okay, bye
You
bye.
copy it into your style.
Bye bye, ma.
I've not asked you to leave. Oh.
You said
Inyolua, hold on, please. Hold on.
Oh, which one was that?
All right, Inyolua, scroll up. Scroll up.
No, I already scrolled up. This is the highest.
Oh, okay, let me see. Are you sure that's the highest? Wait. There is no, oh God. Okay, this is your screen. How come body is the highest? Like, go to number 1. I'm not seeing number 1, I'm seeing number 8. I want to see number 1.
I don't understand what you mean by number 1.
Don't worry, I've seen.
Is it like the first line?
Yes. Let me take over. Okay, so I'm going to make corrections now. So can you please stop touching your screen? Let me make your corrections for you.
I'm not touching it.
Yes, all right, you are done. Your only assignment is to make sure you transfer all your styles to your external CSS. If you don't transfer it, it will not appear on your browser as it was appearing before. All right, so let me make corrections here. It's raining. All right, that's the style. Okay. Now scroll down to the end of the style. All right, stop. Okay. Now scroll down. Scroll down. Please scroll up. I don't know how many times you're writing. Scroll up again, please. Keep scrolling, scroll to the top end. Aha. Okay. Now scroll down. Okay, scroll down. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. So this is div. So there's supposed to be a div here. Okay, so this is div class. Div text. So in your Lua, there's supposed to be something like this. You did not copy it. There's supposed to be something like div class image, and then where to put your image. Copy that one and paste it here. Paste it directly here. Copy that image class.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah. My copy too much.
You don't, okay, don't worry. You know what, leave it, don't worry. Let's not even scatter it. So just hold on. Oh my God.
Somebody else.
Hold on. Just hold on. I keep forgetting to do this. So it's supposed to be, the only thing you need to copy, I can't write this. The only thing you need to copy, start copying it from where it says div image class. Copy it from there up until you have the so you have the image, so you close the image folder, that's all you need to copy. So you close the image tag, that's all you need to copy. So can you do that?
Yes.
I can't. All right, do that. You don't need to copy plenty, that's all you need to
I
copy.
copied. I'm trying to say that I copied too much.
No, you didn't copy too much. I'm asking you to copy something else now. The only thing I want you to copy now is copy where it starts from div class is equals to image. Copy it up until you close the image. So copy that one. Can you do it?
Yes.
All right, please be fast. Time has gone. I still have to do erase on. Please hurry up, oh, so I'll not leave you alone. Oh. Paste it at the bottom here. Oh.
Here.
Under this last div. Yes. All right. Okay. Can you save this thing? Save it first. Let me see if there is a mistake somewhere.
No, I've saved the
Okay, so which image are you using?
image.
Yes. Your picture. Where's your picture here?
I haven't really uploaded any picture of my face. It's only dog images that I've uploaded.
Okay, so we're going to need an image, but where's the dog image that you uploaded? Later, make sure you upload your picture later. So which one here is the dog image?
Dog image. Oh, I don't really know.
Okay, so you have to put an image here by tomorrow, okay? So the image is not going to show, but I want you to reload it and go and check it on your browser.
Oh gosh. I put a picture.
Reload it, please.
Oh, let's see.
Okay, your network is bad, but I'm pretty sure it should start doing by now. And if it's not working well, look at Oreoluwa's own and make sure you follow it. You have to go to Ire now. Time has gone. So please stop sharing. Your assignment is that I'm pretty sure this will show well. So Your assignment right now is to add your navigation bar. Okay?
I show the navigation bar.
To your about page. Yes, add the navigation bar to your about page. Okay?
Okay. Ma, this is it.
Now it's showing, you see? So when you put a picture of yourself here, it will start showing. Right now, there's no picture, that's why it's not showing. So make sure you put your navigation bar on top of it. All right. So tomorrow I'll check that and we'll continue from there.
Okay.
All right. Ire, will you share your screen now?
So, ma, can I leave?
Yes, you can leave. Ire,
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes.
can you share your screen now?
Why?
You don't want to do your correction.
Yeah, bye. Ma, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
I didn't do
So can you
anything wrong.
You did everything wrong. This is your about.html, right?
I made another one.
I kept a code. You know what? Can you share your screen? Share your screen. I mean, let me
No.
request remote control. Why? This boy.
Why you taking Mom?
So just leave your computer screen. Let me make the corrections for you. So you know that thing I copied. You know that thing I copied in the chat. The code I copied in the chat. Can you go and copy it?
Okay.
Go and copy it and paste it here.
Well, I have to stop sharing.
Do you have to stop sharing?
Oh, wait, let me check. I have to.
Oh yeah, stop sharing. Go and copy it and then come back and start sharing.
Yeah, I will just leave the meeting.
Leave the meeting on your own.
Isn't it two things?
What did you say?
Is it all of them I should copy?
Yes, now you know I posted two, so copy
You
the two
posted
codes.
more than two. Posted
No, I'm
too
saying
much.
okay, then copy everything I posted. Only the codes though that you should copy. Only the codes I posted.
Stop. Don't take. And why do I have to copy all your
I can do
things?
correction for you, Ire.
Okay. Let's go here.
When you are done and you're sharing your screen, let me know.
I am sharing my screen.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, can you not see my screen?
Hold on. I'm not looking at Zoom right now. Just hold on.
Let me just say something.
So hold on. Let me see. All right, I'm seeing your screen. All right, thank you very much. So let me request remote control.
No, that one.
You if you don't
Mine
want to see your
isn't
correction.
working. But I give you the remote control.
Okay, I've seen it. So can you scroll up? Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Nah.
Okay, can you scroll down?
Okay.
All right, stop.
Okay.
You are going to have to stop touching your screen so I can do what I want to do.
Okay. Oh yeah, let me just.
Thank you.
No, we're going to be doing nothing. Like this, I can slap.
Okay.
Can
Can you scroll down? Do you have a picture that you can put here? So what's your homework, Ire? Can you save this file now? Ire? Have you saved it?
Yes.
So your homework is that you're going to put your picture here and then you're going to change this right up to yourself. You will say, hi, my name is Iremide, blah, blah, blah. I like to blah, blah. You write about yourself here. So if you go and check your browser now, this should be working, but make sure you change this to your name and your picture. Okay?
Okay.
Now you can
I'm
leave the meeting.
better.
That's the assignment.
So can I get down?
Yes.
Okay. I have to just stop sharing. Bye, Ma.
All right. Ire, don't you want to leave the meeting?